I start recording now. So yesterday, this is what we were discussing about. That is, we were discussing about classes. In an application, you come up with creating many classes as per the requirement. So loan department means one class you have to create for loan. Insurance department means one class you create for insurance. Cards department means one class you create for cards. And verification department means one class you create for verification. The respective functional components you create in the respective classes. This is proper modeling of your application rules, or maybe you say functional components. Next, there will be a need that one department wants to communicate with other department and access its features. Generally, such needs will be there in the real world. So we have to fulfill that particular needs even in our digital application. That means one class may have to access the components of another class at runtime. How can you achieve this? This can be achieved with a concept called as, what is the concept name? Inheritance concept. What do you mean by inheritance? Inheritance is a relation defined between two classes, okay, where the class which provides the functional components is called as parent class, whereas the other class which is requesting functional components from another class is called as child class. Okay, so in the inheritance, typically two classes are involved. One is going to act as a parent class, another one is going to act as a child class. Child class can access the features of parent class, but not vice versa. You need to remember that. Parent cannot access the components of child class. A parent class cannot access child class components, but a child class can access the components of parent class. Understand clear, everyone? Online students, are you clear with this point? Okay. So one parent class may have multiple child classes. One parent class may have multiple child classes. Okay. And so if you are going with inheritance, what you can achieve is a class can access the features from another class. So now here in the example that we have discussed yesterday, loans department, insurance department, cards department. For these three departments, we need some functional components which performs the tasks of verification. So for that, we have created a separate class verification. So verification class features are required to be accessed commonly at the loans, insurance, and card department. Then how can you achieve? You have to implement now what? Inheritance. You don't have to create verification components 3 times. One time at loan, one time at insurance. So same component 3 places you don't have to create. You don't have to redo the tasks. What you need to do is create the component in one parent class verification. From verification, loans is getting inherited. From verification, insurance is getting inherited. From verification, card department is getting inherited. So all these 3 at runtime can access the components of verification class. That's the advantage of inheritance. So that is what about inheritance concept we discussed. The advantages of inheritance are reusability, time saving, cost is reduced, no duplication. You don't have to create again and again. You don't have to create in future. If you are adding one more child case, that will save your time. Cost will be reduced. Understand clear, everyone? And you can define inheritance relation. This is important. You can define inheritance relation between two classes. When the two classes are in same application. So you have one application. Within the application, you have 2 classes. Okay, you can define inheritance relation. You have right to define inheritance relation. Possibility is there. When 2 classes are in different applications, but out of these 2, one is framework, another one is implementation. So if you want to define inheritance relation between 2 classes of different applications, applications must be connected. Implementation application class can be inherited from the framework application class, but not vice versa. This point, everyone clear? That's what yesterday we were discussing, like parent class must always be within the same app or framework application. Disconnected applications, you cannot define inheritance relation. 2 applications are there, but there is no relation between these. These 2 are not connected to each other. In such scenario, can you define inheritance relation first of all? You cannot define inheritance. Without defining inheritance relation, is it possible to access the components of a class? Not possible. So that's the points we discussed yesterday. Okay. So these are the points we have discussed yesterday. Hope every one of you are you clear with these points? Everyone. Are you clear?
Just a small doubt, sir. If there is
Yes.
a imagine there is two framework, like two applications, two different framework class, and there is a implementation app for one on top of one framework, and the another application with framework, and there's an implementation class. If I'm saying the framework, is there any way I can logically make the framework class of the application two uh, to inherit for the application one implementation class?
Not possible. With your design, it is not possible. See, it is possible to have a framework on top of another framework, like a stack, finally
Mm-hmm.
implementation. It is possible, but two different frameworks side by side. Okay.
Uh-huh.
If you already have one implementation on framework 2 and one implementation on framework 1, you cannot define relation. This is going to give a lot of confusion. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Just for your information. Okay.
Okay.
So it is
Thank
always good to have a proper architecture. It is always good to have a proper and simplified architecture. Do not make your architecture also complex. If you connect from multiple different directions, then it will be difficult in future, right? So always have a simple architecture that can be easily extended, okay, and that will be easily understandable to future developers also, okay.
J- Just one more doubt, sir.
Yes,
So
please.
every application will have lot of framework apps, right? Lot of framework applications, right? One app doesn't have only one framework application, right?
One app.
If you're creating an application, each
Hmm.
application can have different classes, right? Different classes
In number of
because each
classes can be there.
different,
Yes.
yeah. But each application will only have one framework. I- No,
No.
right?
Hold on. See, if you take your current application, let's log into your current application which we have developed yesterday. I mean, like day before yesterday.
Yeah.
What is our application? Age.
AIG.
Okay. Let's go to that particular application. Oh, I did AIG.com. Rules. Okay. Let me tell you. See, this is your current application. This is built on AIG Auto Insurance, right? AIG Auto
Yes.
Insurance is built on which application?
AIG
AIG
insurance.
Insurance. AIG Insurance is built on which application?
PEGA
PEGA
application.
platform. So how many frameworks are there? Two
Two
frameworks. AIG
frameworks.
Auto Insurance can access from two frameworks. Can access from two frameworks. It can access from AIG Insurance. It can access from PEGA platform also. Okay, in a stack. Okay, top one can access anything from bottom level. Make sense? Clear, everyone? Are you
Okay,
clear?
so if I'm creating one more framework, imagine I have one AIG, I'm creating AIG auto insurance as implementation, like implementation app, right? Imagine I'm creating instead of AIG insurance, I'm creating one more AIG two insurance, one more framework implementation. Where will that reside? It will be outside
Wherever
this
you create, that
application?
will result. If you create one more framework at the time of creating, where you clicked on build from scratch, it will be there on top of PEGA platform. If you click on another
Okay.
framework, it will be on
Yeah.
top of another framework.
Oh, so
Okay.
it will go on top of AIG insurance. That's what I was asking. Okay,
Wherever you
thank you.
click on, you will get it on top of it. Okay.
Got it.
Okay. Okay. So we'll go slowly one by one. See. So inheritance concept is very, very important in PEG. Okay. See, when you are creating rule, you need to have a clear idea about where to create. Today, suppose you make a mistake of misplacing it somewhere else. Of course, you can copy and just place it in the right place later. But it is good always to have come up with a proper solution at the beginning itself. So how you can access the components that you create one class into another class, In PEGA, I did not tell you anything about rules in PEGA and classes in PEGA. Just I will show you. And First, I will give you a brief idea for your brain to catch up. And then I will technically explain you types of inheritances and all. Okay. Look at here. When you log into your implementation application, and you come to App Explorer in the Dev Studio. So log into implementation application, switch to Dev Studio. Thereby you come to App Explorer. When you come to App Explorer, you can see here 3 classes. How many classes? 3 classes. Above this, you see 3 applications. If you click on this, you can understand one thing here. Currently, you are in AIG Auto Insurance. Below that, you have AIG Insurance. Below that, you have PEGA platform. So AIG Auto Insurance can access generally. It has the ability to inherit from AIG Insurance and PEGA platform classes. We'll think about that later. First, let's think about within application. Within AIG Auto application. Come to AIG Auto application. Go to classes. App Explorer, classes will be loaded. Here you are seeing 3 classes, right? It's not only 3, there are many classes available. So many classes got automatically created. When we create a new application, many classes have been created. We are not going to focus on all of the classes now. We are going to focus on only the 3 classes that have been automatically loaded when you come to App Explorer. You logged in, you switch to Dev Studio. After you switch to Dev Studio, click on App Explorer. Automatically, these 3 classes got loaded. Just I will brief out about these things. Okay. So class 1, its name is AIG. Class 2, its name is AIG Auto I. Class 3, its name is Work. 3 classes are there. So you don't bother about the navigations that I am going to follow. You try to understand or catch only the conceptual point. Never bother about the navigations. Never bother about what I am creating, what I am creating. Focus on only conceptual point for now. Okay. So I am going to AIG. There is a class called AIG. I am trying to create one rule in the AIG, whatever the rule can be, no matter what is it. Okay. For you, you don't have to focus on this navigations and all. What I am creating is not going, you don't take it into your mind. Okay. But only the conceptual point that I am going to explain you, just try to understand that. Test prop. What is the name? Name I have given as test. Something I am creating. Something I am creating by name test prop. What is the name? Test prop in the class AIG. In the class AIG, don't bother about what I am navigating and what I am trying to do here. Never bother about it. Okay. So AIG prop I have created. Good. Now I am going to go to AIG Auto I. What is the next one? AIG Auto I. In the AIG Auto I am trying to create something else. AIG Auto I. AIG Auto I, what I'm trying to create? Something that is test prop, right? This is test section. The name I have given as test section. AIG Auto I, the name I have given as test section. Okay, create and open. I'm not going to add anything inside. Okay, I'm not much worried about these things like what is it and what you can add inside. Nothing to bother. Save this. Done. Okay, so inside this, I am trying to access. Okay, instead of this view, the other view I'll show you. The other view will be better. Other way of appearance. So what am I going to do now? I'll tell you. Just give me 1 minute. So I've added something. Don't bother what is it. My point here is I want to access test prop, which is available in AIG into another component, which is available in AIG Auto I. So I double click on this. Here you have property. One drop down is there. Click the drop down. Do you have test prop accessible? From another class, a component which is available in class A is being accessible into class B. What does it mean? Inheritance relation is already there or not there? Already there. We did not define it, no. It is already there. I'll explain you how it is been created and what type of inheritance and all.
Test
Hold
prop,
on.
which class did you create the test prop in? Property?
That's what. Focus on the concept. Class A, whatever the name. Some class A. some class B. I do have created these two things in two different classes, but I have shown you I'm able to access into auto class. I'm able to access from AIG class. I'm able to access from AIG class. Means class A component I'm able to access into class B, which means that do you have inheritance relation defined? Now class B is child of class A, of course. Okay, just keep it like this. I'm going to third class. I'm going to third class, that is work. Class number 3, work. By name what? Work. In the work class, I'm going to create one component. Whatever it is, component name, component type, you don't have to bother about these rules. Okay, something I am creating. I'm trying to create something. Here, am I able to access something which is available in another class? Able to access or not? Able to access means what? Again, here also, inheritance is there. So, top level, class 1, class 2, class 3. 3 classes are there. Whatever I have created in class 1, I'm able to access into class 2. Whatever I have created in class 2, I'm able to access into class 3. That means class 3 is child of class 2. Class 2 is child of class 1. Now I'll ask one question. For class 3, class 2 is parent. For class 2, class 1 is parent. Correct? Okay. So now class 3 can access the components of class 1. Can access or not? I'll show you. No worries. You don't have to worry about it. I'll show you. Here also I'll create some component. No? Create user interface section. In class 3, I am creating a component. Okay. Class 3 component. Something I'm creating in class 3 where I am trying to access a component from class 1. Is it accessible or not? So look at here now. I'll tell you a simple example. Not like 1 and 2. ABC I'll tell you. Class A. Class A. Class B. Class B. What is the third one? Class C. Now, what we have experienced just now is the component created in class A is being accessible to class B. That means class A is parent of class B. The component created in class B accessible into class C. That means class B is parent of class C. The component created in class A is also being accessible into class C. It's a grandchild. It's a class C is grandchild of class A. Or class A is grandparent to class C. It's like a chain. It's like a chain. Our family tree structure. Grandfather, father, son. Okay. Son can access the property of father as well as grandfather. Father can access the property of his father. Okay. To his father. So that is same applicable in PEGA also. So a class can access the features of its parent as well as grandparent. From this particular one, what we have experienced or what we have observed is these 3 classes are having already an inheritance relation defined. Yes or no? Defined or not? Defined. Then how these are defined, let me copy the names of these 3 classes here into the document. I have already copied. Here, the topmost one, whatever you see here is name is AIG. Second one, AIG Auto I. Third one is work. But these 3 are connected. Connected by what? Connected by this symbol. What is the symbol? Hyphen. That is what defines a type of inheritance in PEGA. Okay, it's like a link between 2 classes. You are connecting, right? So this symbol itself represents inheritance relation, defines inheritance relation. So the inheritance defined by this hyphen, no, this is called as pattern inheritance. What is it called as? Pattern inheritance. Inheritance and types, where do I have it? One is pattern inheritance. Pattern inheritance. Pattern inheritance defined by class naming pattern. Naming. What is the meaning of pattern? What is the meaning of pattern? Any one of you tell me. What is the meaning of pattern? Pattern means
Repetitive
it is something
designs.
in a proper manner,
Repetitive.
maybe sequential or something like that. Sequential or any something which is in a proper order. In a proper order. That's what pattern. So the classes are also in a proper order. One class is connected to another class. Second class, third class is connected to second class. I will show you the names of the classes. Give me 1 minute. So if you want to see individual classes, okay, if you want to see individual classes, just let me close all of these things. I don't need, just I wanted to show you. That's why I have created. I did not even save these things. Okay, so here you go now. AIG. If you want to access alone AIG class, backspace up to here, you see AIG is there. AIG is one class inside which so many classes are there, but our focus is only on 3 classes that are loaded. Second class is AIG Auto I. If you expand AIG Auto I, third one which we are discussing is work. So we are focusing on AIG Auto I, work. Why? These are the classes which are loaded when we come to AVEX. Okay. So now if I open that, if I want to see the details of an AIG class, what are the details of it? What is its ID? What type of class it is? Okay, all that I can right click on the class name. Any class, if you want to see details, right click and definition. Definition means details. So it will open a window. It will open a window. Now you can, I'm focusing only on ID part. The class name is AIG, display name. ID means what? Actual name for the system, AIG. Okay, this is standalone AIG. Now go to second class definition, AIG Auto I. Display you are seeing AIG Auto I. If you go to definition, ID you are seeing AIG-AIG Auto I, which means while AIG Auto I class is getting created, it is not created standalone like AIG. It is created concatenated with previous class. While creating, simply its name is not taken as AIG Auto I. Display purpose AIG Auto I, okay. ID is AIG dash AIG Auto I. That's how PEGA has automatically created. All these classes have got created while we create a new application. At the time of you execute a new application, was that right? That time these classes got automatically created by PEGA. Now, so from this you can understand AIG Auto I is child class of AIG in pattern inheritance. In which inheritance? Pattern. Make sense clear? Now let's go to the definition of work class. Let's go to the definition of work class. Right click on work class and go to the definition. You see its ID is not work. Display name is worker. Okay. Its ID is what? AIG hyphen AIG Auto I hyphen work. So now for work in the chain, you can see, understand like a chain. How many classes are there before work? 2. So total how many parents are there? This is multi-level parents. Multi-level. So parent of parent is also parent. That's what we have seen. So this is one inheritance called pattern inheritance. What is it called as? Pattern inheritance is defined by class naming pattern. When you look at the class, you can easily say which one is child, which one is parent, all that you can easily say. If I ask you A dash, B dash, C. So what is the topmost parent here? A. What is the parent of C? Immediately B. What is the parent of B? A. What is the grandparent of C? A. Like that you can easily say, right? So if I display the name of the class, you will be able to easily say which one is parent, which one is child, all that. Make sense clear, everyone online following? So whatever I explained, do you understand or not? Whatever I explained, do you understand? Okay, good, thank you. And now, this is okay. These 3 classes are in same application, within this application. So pattern means within your family, yes or no? You will get a family pattern, grandfather, father. This is maybe 100 levels we may have, we don't know, right? So, but all this is your family only, correct? Pattern. Pattern inheritance is kind of, you can understand like a blood relation accessibility. You access the property of your father because you are blood relation. Grandfather property you are accessing because you have blood relation. Grandfather's grandfather also you might be accessing, you don't know. It is coming from, since many years it is coming, right? The properties and all, correct? That's what. So pattern inheritance is accessing something from the classes which are higher level classes, which are higher level to lower level. All these are same family, same application, same. Within this application, these 3 are there. This is okay, very good. Now the point is, I want to access a functional component which is available in the framework application class into implementation application class. That's my requirement. I want to experience to see that whether I'm able to access or not. Understand? Look at here. So I am going to log into where? Framework application. application. Now, I think we did not change the password of framework application. Did we? DevFW. Okay, just give me a minute, please. Did we change?
They have changed, sir.
FW AIG.com rules. Huh? Okay, just give me 1 minute. Okay, I have done something that operator ID I have disabled. I'll enable it. Don't worry. Just give me a minute. I'll correct it and then I'll do it. Records. devfw@AIG, right? Just slowly we'll go one by one. Okay, no hurry, nothing. And here, security and disabled it is. I'll update it to something else. It will again prompt me to change the password while login. No problem. So here you go now. I am going to get into our framework application now. devfw@aig.com. Password I have given something. I will change it to rules. Okay. Okay. So now you are in FW application. See, for every application, PEGA will create similar type of classes. Similar type of. I will show you. Okay. Just go to here also. You go to Dev Studio as a full-fledged developer. Okay, we are thinking like a full-fledged developer. App Explorer. Okay. So here you are seeing how many classes. Can you tell me how many classes are these? 4 classes total. AIG is one class. After AIG, what is the name of the class? FW is another class. After FW, AIG, INSUR. After INSUR, work. Let me tell you one point here. AIG class that you see in framework application that you have already seen in implementation, both are same. One common class is created at the top level for both applications, because at the time of creating implementation application, we have chosen same organization. If you have different organizations, different classes, as at the time of creating 2 different applications you created from same organization, you are now getting one shared class for both of AIG. Here you are seeing, there you have seen same. Now FW is different, AIG insurance here is different, and work is different from that classes. This work and that work are different. So this work class can access the features of AIG insurance, AIG FW, AIG all. Okay, good. Now I am creating one component here. Data model, one property I am trying to create. Okay, the name is FW prop. What is the name? FW prop I am creating. Save it. Just simply save it. Done. FW prop which I have created in FW related classes, I want to access into implementation related classes. Yes or no? That's my need. So let's experience to see whether it is being possible or not. Before that, let me tell you, the work class you see here, no, this entire 4 things together. You need to always talk 4 together. This is a transaction class. This is what? For every application, PEGA automatically creates one class where you can initiate transactions. Someone is accessing something on my screen. So I will go with some settings being done from my end. Okay, I'm not pretty much sure as of now with this one. Okay, please don't access anything here. So for every application, one transaction class will be created. So let me write down here just for your information. Okay. For every application, PEGA creates a work class, where we can initiate transactions. Technically, this is also called as class group. Technically, what do you call this? That means for your framework application, one class group is there where you can initiate transactions. For your implementation application, one class group is there. Okay. Class group, you don't think about technical definition now. I'll tell you later. But you understand one transaction class is there. Now, in the framework application class, I created one component. It is there or not there? Let me see. Refresh. One component is there in framework application. I created. This whether I'm able to access into my implementation application or not. Dev IMPL @aig.com, password rules. Okay. Here I wanted to verify whether I'm able to access or not. Dev Studio. Implementation. Right click. Create something I am creating. Don't bother about what I am trying to create. Something which can access other one. Implementation component. Implementation component I am creating. Create and open. Very good. So here in the drop down, I want to see whether that is coming or not. In the drop down, I want to see whether that is coming or not. Is it coming? FW related class, is it being displayed here? The component is available in some class, no? That class, is it being displayed in the list? That component is displayed in the list? No, that is not accessible. That is not accessible. You created your implementation on top of framework, though you did not define any inheritance relation between FW and implementation. You did not. PEGA also did not taken care of it automatically. PEGA did not. So PEGA taken care of defining inheritance between the classes of lower to higher within the application. It has taken care automatically. What PEGA did not take care of? PEGA did not take care of implementing inheritance, defining inheritance between implementation related class with the framework related class. It forgot. It did not do. The wizard will not do. We have to manually do it. Clear, everyone? So I'm not able to access. First, I need to correct this. Understand, clear, everyone? Now, let me ask you one question. Am I trying to access the component of a class of same application or different application, built on application? Which one? So now in this scenario, second scenario, previously same application classes I am able to access. Now I am trying to access built on application class features into current class, means different application which is built. Implementation is built on framework, right? Framework is said to be built on application. You can call it as. Now implementation application is trying to access the components of framework application classes into it. Okay. So the inheritance relation is not defined between these two application related classes. We should define. Means within your family, you are not trying to access. From outside family, you are trying to access. Okay, understand? Clear, everyone? Now, how can you achieve this one, defining inheritance? See, outside application classes doesn't show up in the pattern. Pattern, blood relation. Blood relation means only your family members will be shown up in the tree diagram. Outside family will not show up here, right? Okay. Those are not related at all. Now, other application classes, I want to define inheritance relation with this particular class, this particular application classes. This can be done by using second type of inheritance in PEGA. That is, what is the inheritance? Direct inheritance. Defined between classes of current application with the classes of, you should not say simply any other application. Built on application. What is that? Built on. Built on means what? Framework application. Framework. Understand clearly? So framework application classes, if you wanted to access into your current application, then you need to come up with a new different type of inheritance called direct inheritance. This point, everyone clear? But as of now, where you can see that pattern inheritance means directly in the class name you have seen. Good. But direct inheritance, where do you see? That's what we need to think about. So direct inheritance of any class, you can see by going to the definition of the class. Go to the definition of the class. Then in the details of the class, scroll down. Here you see parent class directed. So the current class, what you have opened? Work class. For the work class, what is the direct inheritance parent? What is the class that is already by default mentioned here? Work dash, cover dash. What is this work dash, cover dash? I'll tell you. Some other application class. Okay, this is built on class. This is OTB class. This is OTB class. Built on application OTB class. Hold on. So I will give you OOTB classes in PEGA. Some names I will give you. OOTB classes are there in PEGA platform. PEGA platform is OOTB application. It has so many OOTB functionalities inside its OOTB classes. Architecture will not change anywhere. If it is PEGA platform or your application has classes. Inside classes, you are creating functional components. PEGA platform already has ready-made functional components. No, those will be available in its ready-made classes only. PEGA platform also will have classes. @base class. What is the first class? One class name is @base. Second one is work dash. In the name of the class itself, dash will be available. Data dash. Data dash. These are topmost classes in PEGA. int dash, embed dash, okay, index dash, assign dash, rule dash, code dash, etc. Okay, so these many topmost classes. See, there are thousands of classes. These are top level. You can see one layer I am talking about. Below this, so many classes might be available. Below level, if you come, work dash, cover dash, dash, you call it as dash. Call it as dash. Work dash, cover dash means cover dash is a class. This is a child of work dash. It's not work. This work dash is different from the work that you have in your application. Okay. So PEGA platform contains OOTB features in the OOTB classes. To the entire PEGA platform, the topmost class is base class. The topmost class is, if you want to see these classes here, you can see. This is search bar for the classes. @base class. Can I see that or not? Can I see that or not? Go to @base class definition. Do you find any parent class of it? That means this is a topmost, will not have any parent. Okay. So close the base class. You go to work dash. So in the work dash, direct inheritance. What is the class? So every class in PEGA ultimately child of base class in the direct inheritance. So in our application, for our transaction class, for our class group, or for our application related work class, the parent class was automatically taken by PEGA as work dash, cover dash. Work dash, cover dash. I'll dot diagram using Paint. I'll use some other tools later. As of now, I'm going to go with Paint. Whatever we have seen now, I'm going to draw that. So here it is work dash, cover dash. Work dash. I'm sorry. Here you go now. Work dash, cover dash. Okay. This is top level that we are experiencing in the direct inheritance. This is direct inheritance diagram. So now come here, implementation work class. For our implementation work class, implementation class group, you can say implementation work class. Name is this one. For our implementation work class, what is the parent class? It is coming from where? Work dash. The line says here in this scenario, in this diagram that I am drawing, this is direct inheritance diagram. What is this diagram? Direct inheritance diagram. Okay, I'm drawing direct inheritance diagram. So this is what we have experienced to see. So, but there is no direct inheritance. 624. There is no direct inheritance between your implementation work class and your framework work class. Yes or no? Let's log into framework work class once again. Let me close these things here. Go back to framework work class once again. I can parallelly log in using two different browsers also. Okay. devfw@aig.com password rules. I'm just going to get there.
Then why are you
Don't ask
logging
any
out and
questions
logging in?
about cover and all. We'll be learning later. Just understand there is some class from PEGA. That's it. You need to understand it in a generalized way, not specific point like what is cover there and all. No need to bother. Understand
Can't
it
we
in a
switch the
generalized way.
applications here in the personal edition?
What is that? Come again?
Can't we switch the applications in the personal edition?
You can switch. You don't know entire PEGA. Hold on. Please wait. Others do not know. Please try to learn from zero. Please wait. So here you go now. Okay. AIG framework application related definition. Okay. Here, what is automatically taken by PEGA? Work dash, cover dash only. That means In the diagrammatically, I am going to show you. Framework work class. Framework work class. For this one also, the parent is being PEGA automatically taken this as work dash cover dash. As work dash cover dash. Wait. Here you go. Copy the name. Framework work class. Okay, now? Make sense clear? From the diagram, you can tell me. From the diagram, it is easy to say. Your implementation work class can access the components of PEGA OOTB. PEGA OOTB features. Can your implementation application work class access PEGA OOTB features from work dash cover dash? Yes or no? Yes, it can access. Framework application work class can access the OOTB features from work dash cover dash? Yes. Now implementation work class can access the features of framework work class. Yes or no? No, it cannot access because there is no inheritance relation. But do we need that or not? We need it or not? See, we created our implementation application on top of framework. Why did we create? In order to access the features of framework application work class into implementation work class. But by default, PEGA did not provide that inheritance between these two. So from the diagram, you can see you cannot access it. You cannot access, but we want to achieve it. But before we achieve it, let me clearly tell you one point. That is, in the direct inheritance, comma, and one more class you cannot choose. That is not possible. It is not possible to give more than one class in the direct. In the direct inheritance, you should have only one direct parent. Direct parent may have another direct parent, but one class cannot have two direct parents at a time. One class cannot have two direct parents. So I tried to do that. Am I able to achieve? It is throwing error message. I'll remove the one here and I will choose whatever was there. I have kept it back. Okay. This point you need to keep in mind. Now, what you want to achieve is, let me save this diagram. Okay. So what we want to achieve is, we want to achieve this. Our implementation work class should be able to access the components of framework work class. Framework work class should be able to access the components of work dash cover dash. At the same time, our implementation application work class also should be able to access the components of work dash cover dash. This should not be gone. Whatever at present is there should be there. I mean, like accessibility wise. Additionally, we want to achieve implementation work class also should be able to access framework work class. Framework work class. For that, you tell me diagrammatically, we will make changes. In the application. I want to remove some connectors here, add new connectors. After I add new connector and remove the existing connector, my output should be like, my achievement should be like, framework should be able to access work dash cover dash. Implementation should be able to access framework work class. At the same time, implementation should be able to access work dash cover dash as well. That I want to achieve. So where should I draw a connector? Where should I draw a connector?
From
Between
work to implementation and removing work to implementation.
Okay, tell me where should I draw? From where to where? From framework to
implementation. And
I am drawing one connector. I am going to draw one connector here. Framework to implementation. I have drawn one connector. Means newly you are defining inheritance. We will do it practically. Done now? Now this is practically not possible. Why? Already this class has one direct parent mentioned. No. So if you mention one more, it is not possible. Before you mention this connector, what should you do? You should remove the connector from
work to implementation.
This one you remove. You remove this and connect like this. From this diagram, okay, just let me save this. Save as 624. Direct inheritance 2. Direct inheritance 1. Direct inheritance 2 diagrams I have. Now, from this, let's discuss the points. Now, this implementation work class can access the features of framework work class. Yes or no? Now, framework work class can access the features of work dash cover dash. Yes. Now, the third one. implementation work class can access the features of work dash cover dash? Yes or no? What do you say?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Implementation
Yes.
work class can access the features of work dash cover dash? Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes.
How?
Yes, sir.
How?
because work dash cover dash has like the relation between the
Grandparent.
frameworks, right? So it can access the implementation layer from the framework.
Parent of
Yeah.
parent. Parent of parent. How it can access, you know? It can access like this. It can access. So this can access from above, right? From above level,
Correct.
right? Yes or no? Parent of parent is accessible, no? Direct parent accessible or not? Obviously accessible. This is the change we have to make. This one I have extra drawn, this blue color. I've drawn extra. So now we should log into one application and change the direct parent. Which application we should log in and change direct parent?
Implementation.
Implementation, we need to make the change. That's the practical document I'm going to give you now. Just give me 1 minute. So all of you should do this in your application also. All of you should do this in your application also. Defining direct changing, not defining. I'm sorry. It's already defined, no? Automatically, PEGA has defined it, no? Modifying the direct parent of implementation work class as below. That is removing existing parent class, existing direct parent class, existing direct parent class, work dash, cover dash, comma, replacing by AIG, FW, AIG, INSU, work. That is replacing by framework applications work class. Framework applications work class is this one. Okay, we are going to do this now. So where should I log in now? I should log into implementation application. This is one thing that everyone should follow to do. Log into IMPL app. Just step by step, I'll give this PC 624 Jan 30. Okay, go here. From here you are going. Framework you are not going to touch because framework is already able to access OOTB. devimpl@aig.com password rules. Giving password rules. Here you go now. So after you log in, as usual thing, you know, right? Switch to Dev Studio. I don't have to give the screenshot, correct? Go to Dev Studio. From there, go to App Explorer. After you go to App Explorer, right click on work class. Right click on work class. Come on, choose what? Definition. So let me right click using my mouse and choose what? Definition. After you choose definition, it will open this window. After you right click and choose definition, it will open this particular window. Scroll down. From here, go where? Scroll down. When you scroll down, this is where you need to focus on. This is where you need to focus on. Able to follow? Everyone. Remove work dash cover dash. This is a drop down now. If you remove this, click the down arrow on your keyboard. If you want to access the things in the drop down, items, down arrow, keyboard. Okay. Now you want to access framework related work class. It is available in the list of classes displayed here. Available or not? Choose FW work class. FW work class. I'm choosing it. I'm not typing manually. I'm not copy pasting. I'm always selecting from the drop down. With this, we have corrected one issue that PEGA did not provide us by default. This has to be modified. Now, what is the purpose of direct inheritance? Direct inheritance purpose is to access the components of another application that is built on application. To access the rules of higher classes of same application, use pattern inheritance. To access the rules of other application classes into your application, which is built on application class. Into your application, we use direct inheritance. Each inheritance has purpose. In interviews, they will ask you one question. Why PEGA is coming up with two different types of inheritance? What is the need? Only inheritance is enough? No. Why PEGA has come up with two types of inheritance in its architecture? The reasons are like pattern inheritance. This is useful. Otherwise, this helps in accessing the rules of higher classes into lower classes within the application, within the same application. Make sense? This one, coming to this one, this helps in accessing the rules of built on, that's what, in other words, what you say, framework. Okay. Application classes, the rules of framework application classes into implementation application classes. Implementation, not only current application classes, into what? Current application classes. Understand clear? That is the two purposes. Make sense clear, everyone? Online students, are you clear? That's what about pattern. And so see, if you take a class, generally, if I remove direct inheritance parent, I'm making it empty and trying to save. It is not allowing. Means a class having direct parent class is mandatory in PEGA. In PEGA, every class that you create must have a direct parent. It must have. Whether you mention or PEGA will take automatically. It must have direct parent. Clear, everyone? Now, having pattern parent is optional. A class may not have pattern parent. Let me show you. AI, you take only AIG class. Does AIG class has any pattern parent? Does AIG class have any pattern parent? Is there any pattern parent for AIG class?
No.
Yes or no? Before AIG, do you see anything? That's a topmost class for our application. Tomorrow I will tell you about AIG once again. But there is no pattern parent. So a class may not have a pattern parent, but a class must have direct parent. That is mandatory. Without filling the form at direct inheritance, you cannot create a class in PEGA. We will create manually classes going forward. Okay. Now another point I will tell you. So which inheritance is mandatory in PEGA? That's what they ask in interview question. Which inheritance is mandatory in PEGA? Direct inheritance. Which is optional? Pattern. Okay. Next point. Ankit, wait. Next point is, now you take work class. Work class has pattern parent? Yes or no? At the same time, work class has direct parent? Yes or no? Yes or no? A class at a time has one pattern parent, one direct parent, two different directions, right? Now, this is called dual inheritance. What is this called as in PEGA? One class at a time can have two parents. In PEGA, it is possible. This is called multiple inheritance in other technologies. A class can have at a time two parents, one in pattern direction, one in direct direction. This is called dual inheritance in PEGA. What is this called as?
Can you repeat the concept once again?
A class, that's what? A class having a pattern parent plus direct parent. Direct parent is called dual inheritance. Dual inheritance. So if you take work class, it has pattern parent. At the same time, you can see in the form, it has direct parent also. Two parents are there at a time. In two different directions, two parents are there. One pattern, one direct. This is called dual inheritance in PEGA. Make sense clear, everyone? Online students, are you clear with this point? AIG class has, base class has direct inheritance. Base class has a direct parent, but no pattern. For AIG class, direct parent is there, but pattern parent is not there. Direct parent is mandatory. Okay. So I did not tell you anything about AIG direct or AIG auto direct. Don't focus on that. Only focus on work class. Ankit, what is your question?
My question is related to that login page. Like when in start we have user ID as administrator at the rate, but now that user ID and password have been changed. So when exactly it has been it changed? Because today I joined late and I just want to go through with the document again. So can you please tell me like in which class we have changed the user ID for the
We did
framework?
not change user ID password. See, after we log into administrator.pega.com on day two of regular classes, that is usually day 5 in the sequence, but day 2 of regular class, we have created our own applications. We have created our own logins. That's what we are using. These applications, while you create, we have created our own logins. Administrator@pega.com is already there in the system. It is there still. It is there.
Okay, so when I will log in with the dev login ID, then I will get this application as well there, right? Automatic.
You follow day 2, you will understand. Okay.
Okay.
Day 2.
Okay.
Day 2 regular class. Day 2 regular class you follow. You will come to know.
You want to say like well, Monday class, right? This week Monday class is the fifth class.
We did practical. Monday we did practical. Monday only. Monday we did a practical. Go through that. Just give me 1 minute. Yeah, go through it. You'll come to know. And tomorrow I am going to explain you about these concepts of types of classes. Before we proceed to do any hands-on, we should know all these things. Without knowing the fundamental architecture, you cannot be a developer. You should not be a developer, first of all. Okay. So Jan 31, 2025. So, but whatever I have explained you today, it is very, very important. But remember one thing, as a beginner, you do not think about too many directions of learning. Okay. Like I did not talk anything about direct parents of FW class or organization class or another class in between. I only talked about work class of implementation, work class of framework. You also focus on those two alone. Other classes you don't focus on. Learning should be limited as a beginner. If you think beyond whatever I explain you, you'll get a lot of confusion. As a result, the basic whatever you have learned from me, that also will be gone from your mind from in the confusion state. Okay. Only focus on whatever I am explaining as of now, as a beginner. Understand clear, everyone? And your queries also should be related to the same. If you understand this, then you can extend your thinking to the next level. That's later, not now. Slowly, you will be able to get a clear picture of this inheritance usage as we start doing the practicals going forward in our day-to-day sessions. Within a day, maybe you can understand now, but during applying this, okay, you'll slowly gain the knowledge, and then it will be more clear going forward. Now it should be clear actually, whatever the way I have explained, okay, the diagrams I have given, it should be clear. But when you practically apply it, then you will be having a better realization of the concept. Okay, clear? Makes sense? Tomorrow, after I explain you about two types of inheritance and organization structure. What is that? Organization structure, two types of inheritance, organization, division, unit. After that, two types of classes I will explain. So after that, we are done with our theory part. Then we can think about the practical part related to business implementation, application functionalities. Functionality related theory we'll discuss, and then practical. Okay. So we'll continue tomorrow. Use the same meeting link for rest of the days. Okay. Till some extent, use the same meeting link. Okay. Tomorrow night, US 31st in India. Yes. So I am always following the Indian calendar. Okay. So the best time to call me is India time morning 11 o'clock or India time. If you are from USA, call me 8:30 p.m. India. If you are from India, call me 11 a.m. India, 11:30, 11, 12, like that. Okay. So just go through all these things slowly, one by one, following the theory document plus, like running notes plus this diagrams. We'll be sharing you these diagrams also. I'm going to close the meeting. Thank you for joining, everyone. We'll continue tomorrow.